All right, ladies and gentlemen, another big one for the BTB boys. The boys head down the road to North Bay, Ontario, actually, for this next special guest. This person was the highest drafted goalie in the OHL since 2002, going seventh overall in the first round of Sarnia in 2019. The future is bright for the kid. He's backstopped Canada to U18 World Championship gold in Frisco, Texas, with a 2.2 GAA and a 919 save percentage and a perfect 5-0 record just to top it off. Seeing a Northern boy do this is something we haven't seen in our generation. It's an unbelievable moment. We are so honored to welcome Ben Gaudreau to the Behind the Bench podcast. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Thank you very much. Quite the intro.
That's right. Hey, we got to get a tire pump right off the hop, get the feet moving.
Alex, you just love it that he said that. He had a little bit of a pause, and he didn't think.
I was waiting for
he
it.
wasn't going to say that.
That's right. Just a warm up. You know, you gotta get the puck. You gotta get the puck hitting you. Feel it out. I love it. All right. So what's up right now, Ben? Obviously, a bunch of stuff has happened. Champs, no big deal. So where are you at right now? Are you back home in North Bay?
Yeah, so I'm back home. Got to do 2 weeks of quarantine now. So doing that, getting through that. I guess I'm on day 3 now. They counted the land down day, which was really nice. But yeah, it's been a slow couple days. That's the best way to say it. But no, it's exciting.
Awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, no doubt going from one reality to the next, landing back straight back into quarantine. Unreal how the world is right now.
Let's take a step back before the tournament, Ben. Like, when was the last time you were on the ice before this, even like before you actually entered the tournament?
Yeah, so I was lucky enough that I was able to get down to Toronto and do some skates. So I was kind of in the Toronto, Mississauga, Stony Creek areas, just doing some skates. But like there was a couple scrimmages and stuff, but nothing high intensity. So last time there was a high intensity kind of game, I guess, was March 2020 maybe. So it was definitely a little while ago, but no, it was, I've been busy. Like I kept myself busy, whether it be in the gym or driving 4 hours to Toronto every week. So yeah.
Gotta love the grind. What was it like that first game facing shots, obviously from elite talent, like the best in the world at your age? Like, what was it like facing shots from them? Obviously, you said you were still competing in Toronto, like here and there, but definitely different, right?
Oh God, yeah. Going into the game, I probably had the least confidence that anyone on the ice that's ever touched the ice. I was definitely pretty nervous going into it, so it was just a little bit of an adjustment getting in, starting to feel pucks again, and even though I had a few practices under my belt with like the boys from Canada, nothing really sets in like a game, right? So it took me a few shots to kind of get going, and then I just tried to kind of run with it and see what I could do.
Unreal. So kind of take us through what was like a normal day in the bubble in Frisco for you. Like what did it involve? I know probably a bunch of testing and that stuff, so I'll let you run with that.
Yeah, we had quite a bit of testing, lots of COVID tests and stuff like that. Once we kind of got into like being able to have team meals, we started that up. We had some group stages, I guess. Like one group would go eat to the next one, then we finally got the full team at the end of it. So we'd have our breakfast, lunch, dinner, optional snack. But after the first 4 days of it being sandwiches, I was pretty much done with sandwiches for the rest of the tournament. So I'll never eat another sandwich again, especially turkey. That's out of the picture. But yeah, so there's those. We had morning activation, whether it be yoga or like a little workout. Just kind of get you going. Obviously sitting in the hotel quite a bit, so you're just trying to kind of do something. That's really about it. Like we had a few team meetings and stuff like that, just to go over like the game plans. But at the end of the day, you're locked down. It's probably more strict than like just a regular lockdown. Like you couldn't leave your room. Like they had to, like the first little bit, like I think the first 4 days we were on complete lockdown. So we were in our rooms for all 4 days, didn't leave the room. I didn't touch a thing of fresh air.
Crazy.
They had to bring our meals right to our door, knock. We had COVID tests, I think, every day for those 4 days, and it was a long couple of days, but they pass it through with like team meetings, like I was kind of talking about. The workouts, yoga. I think during those days we were doing a workout and yoga. But yeah, it was fun. Don't miss it, but it was fun time. Sucks being locked up in the hotel, but
No
no, it
doubt.
was a great time. And yeah, when you got out of the hotel, it was fun. We had some outdoor time every once in a while too, so you could throw the football around in the parking lot. But yeah,
Unreal. Yeah.
But Jim, before you go, like, were you guys? Did you get to bring like your video game system, like PS4, Xbox, or were you just strict like Netflix on your phone? Like, did you kill time that way? Like, did any of the boys bring any video game consoles down?
yeah, a lot of them did. I just got the PlayStation 5. I had the Xbox One. I didn't want to bring the Xbox, so all my games had to update, and I was like, if there's bad Wi-Fi, I'm done. And then I didn't want to break the PlayStation because it's so like awkwardly built that I was like, if I throw this thing in my suitcase, it's gonna get thrown around. Next thing you know, it's gonna be
Yeah.
snapped in half or something like that. So I didn't bring anything. Yeah, but funny story about stuff being broken on the way back. So I got player of the game in the finals,
Yeah.
and the trophy we got, it's like a boot, and the top of the boot cracked because I had it in my hockey bag, and that was just
Come
a big
on, dude.
crack in the back of the boot. So we're gonna try to get it fixed. Yeah, chucked around on the airport, and there it is.
No kidding. Oh my God. That's nuts. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Uh, Crazy. So let's talk about this team. I mean, loaded with talent.
Yeah.
Connor Bedard, Shane Wright, and these guys are underagers, which is unbelievable. And they just took over the tournament. So, like, what was the confidence heading into this tournament? Because obviously, no one's played in a year, so it's fresh ice for everybody. But you know, you guys breezed through the round robin, except for a little game against Latvia, which you guys ended up winning anyways. But how was it, and how confident you guys feel heading into the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, right from the start, the goal was to win gold, right? Like
No
we
doubt.
weren't going there just to like kind of play around or whatever. Like coaches made it obvious right from the start that we had a good team, and if we don't come out of there with the gold, it's almost an upset. So we had high confidence levels going in, except for me, of course. But
Well,
no,
you
like
found it
we
pretty
had high
quick though.
confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you know what? The confidence stayed low. Like I don't think I
Okay.
really started getting confident until like the semifinals. I was like
Really?
finally
Eh?
like, oh, okay, I can make saves now. I'm all right.
Right.
But yeah, it took a little while. But you know what? Like the boys came out, they played hard. As you mentioned, like our underagers were out of this world. Like Bedard might be the most offensively gifted player I've ever seen in my entire life. Like
He's
it's
so sick.
crazy.
Yeah.
Shaner's again one of the best two-way guys.
Yeah.
I think that's the one that kind of like separates him. Put the puck in the back of the net, but at the same time he's coming back, he's defending the rush, he's doing this in the corner, doing that. Like he's all over the ice. But yeah, like the two of them, unreal. And then even like Denton Matejchuk, one of our defensemen, he was in 04. Another great player, didn't play too much, but solid on the back end, just made simple plays, got the puck out, pretty offensively gifted as well. But yeah.
Yeah, man. It's unreal. Yeah, Tom.
I gotta ask about who was the. Let's get some insight on this locker room. Who was the team DJ?
Team DJ. I think it was Ethan Del Mastro actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think they had him working it because he was right by the speaker. And I think they just gave him it day one and he ran with it. Some questionable stuff. Hard to get fired to like Justin Bieber.
Oh no, Tom's a
But
huge
no,
Beebs guy.
most of it was good.
Oh, that's good. No, I needed to ask because like some of these guys, like it depends on the music because it's tough finding one DJ that fits the whole room. So that's
Yeah.
funny that you mentioned that he was playing JB.
Well, you actually found
No,
Tom
he
on a. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, sorry.
oh no, all you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Well, you found Tom on an off day. He's usually wearing his Drew sweater that he got for his birthday. His little Beebs action there. So I can sympathize with you about Beebs. That's hilarious though. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So for the room, like Bedard's 15 years old. Like, was he quiet in the room? He just did his thing, or like, how is he in the room with together? Obviously, he's 15 years old. That's wild. He can't even drive a car yet. Yeah.
No, he was awesome. You know what? You never know with guys like that when they're that exceptional. You never know if you're gonna get like a cocky little son of a gun or whatever. But
No, I hear you. Yeah.
like unreal guy. Like great guy to talk to. Great guy to hang out with. Really easy going. And he wasn't trying to be that guy that hung out with like the top players on the team. Like he was hanging out with everyone, right? So it was nice to see that, and he fit in with everyone. Maybe a little bit quiet, but I think that's almost his personality. Like he
For
doesn't
sure.
say too much.
Yeah.
But no, he was a great guy. He fit in perfectly. He got roomed with Mason McTavish actually, so he was pretty opened up right away with Mace. So I think it worked out pretty well, and two of them got along really well, and it was funny. So yeah.
Awesome. And you talk about confidence. You're saying your confidence was low, which is crazy. Like, what's a moment for you in this tournament where you're like, yeah, okay, I got this now. I can
Back,
start making
baby.
saves. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, I started kind of gaining my confidence like in like at like the Belarus game. I started kind of gaining it maybe second, third period, started feeling myself a little bit. But then we switched rinks, right? And we went over to the next rink, and the ice was atrocious. Like pregame warmup, I went to go slide, and I just like sunk into the ice. So
Oh,
like
geez.
then like the game happens, and we got that penalty against the Czech. I think it was in the first period, and they slid one cross ice, and the guy scored like 5-hole on me. It was an awful goal to give up. But in my head, I'm thinking, like, do I slide? Do I try to push across? So, like, I'm like delayed already. And now I do
Yeah.
this awful push. I'm on the back of my heels. I almost fall on my butt. Like,
Yeah.
atrocious goal to let up. But, like, just no confidence that game whatsoever. And then we practiced the next day. I had a good practice. The ice felt a lot better. And just tried to build off that. So, yeah.
Awesome.
And
Good
and
stuff.
obviously to put a cherry on top, Ben, you actually got awarded the best goalie of the tournament. So how was that feeling? Obviously being awarded that, like being the best goalie at the U18 level.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'll be honest, I didn't think it was me. On the ice, they were announcing like the media all-star team or whatever, and they said the Russian goalie, Ivanov there. And I thought, oh, okay, he got it, whatever. I don't care. I got
Mm-hmm.
this nice medal around my neck, like it's all
That's right,
good. Like
baby.
you
Mm-hmm.
can have it. Yeah. And then I get off the ice and I'm texting my dad, and he's just talking to me, and he's like, "Oh, like you played good. Congrats on goalie of the tournament." I'm like, I didn't get that. Like that went to the Russian goalie. And he's like, no, they said it. Like you got it. And I was like, no, they said the Russian goalie. And like 5 minutes later, they came in with like the goalie of the tournament like trophy and gave it to me. And I was like, oh, I guess I did get it.
I love
So it was kind of like
it.
after the fact, but yeah, it was
That's
good.
too
That,
good.
oh my God, that's so jokes. I
What
love
what
it.
what was the celebration like? We have to get into this a little bit. Obviously, you mentioned like the quarantine, like coming in. You're always locked up in your room. Like the only bright spot seeing the guys playing the games, being on the ice, and then obviously the ultimate goal there is to win gold. And obviously, you guys do that. So run us through like what the celebration was after with your teammates.
Um, yeah, so obviously we went pretty hard when we were at the rink. We got back, we had like I want to say like an hour long like team eating supper like kind of thing. Um, we hung out there. I think a few of the guys went and hung out, but we had to wake up at 4 o'clock the next morning to leave on our flight. So by the time I was like in my room, I think it was like 2:30, and I just like then that was when I was finally done like responding to my text. Like I was
Yeah.
finally done. I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna lay down. So
Yeah.
like I'm sore, like I'm just tired. So I lay down in bed. I look at my phone. I'm like, okay, let's get some sleep. I look at my phone, 2:30. I'm like, yeah, no, we're not getting any sleep tonight. Threw the TV on, just stayed up, got in the plane the next morning, and ripped home. So it wasn't the greatest celebration, I guess, due to COVID and stuff like that.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, we went hard at the rink. It was a fun time at the rink, and we got to kind of celebrate it there, and even a little bit at the rink or at the hotel after when we were having our meal. It was fun. There was some jokes going around, and coaches were involved in those too, and it was just a good time.
Awesome. Yeah. So kind of we'll back it up a little bit. Talk about that finals game. Like, what was the vibe in the room? Like, again, like I said, you guys kind of really breezed through up until this point, like not faced much adversity. So you're playing the Russians, who's probably obviously the second best team in that tournament. They were loaded as well. So what's the vibe going into the room, and how did you guys feel during that game?
Yeah, you know what? I think we were pretty confident going into it. That we would, as long as we took it to them, played well on our own end, we'd take it to them and just almost walk through it. Like we should have. I don't think we played our best game. Like we played good. But if you watch like other games, like we played a lot better in the G zone. We played a lot better in the O zone. Just overall, we played a lot better. So like we kind of got a little, I think we tightened up on our sticks a little too much. I think we were a little bit nervous. Especially when they scored the first goal. I think like Bedsy's one of the best shootout guys in the world. So for him to miss something, he was gripping his stick a little too tight. Like
Right.
So like when he missed that, in my head I'm going, oh no, this isn't good, because he's one of those guys where like he gets an opportunity like that, he's gonna score, right? So
Right.
he was pretty ticked off at himself. But then next shift, as I think everyone in the world has seen now that TSN's reposted about 30 times, he went down from the red line, did a little toey and threw it backhand, probably the nicest goal I've ever seen. And it was sick. But
Yeah.
I think once that happened, I think the boys kind of started realizing like we can play with these guys. We're fine. Like let's just get back to our normal. We started playing a lot better than the first 15 minutes there.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. You guys really showed your class, like very calm, cool, and collected. Like, again, just a loaded team. Were you thinking about Mitchkov's lacrosse goal at any point during the game? Like, is he going to try it on you? And what's the strategy with the lacrosse goal now as a goal?
Yeah. You know what? We talked a little bit about it, like the team meetings and stuff like that. And our D were kind of told like all tournament long just to sit at the post and go attack the guy if somebody comes in, like either a rapid or like the lacrosse move.
Yeah.
But I think last year in Sarnia, I want to say I had like 3, 4, maybe 5 of those attempted on me.
Oh my God.
And I hate it because like it's one of like those moves where it's like, I get you got skill, but it's like, how is that not a high stick? Because you're hitting me in the face every time. You're getting me in the throat every time. You might as well grab the puck and just throw it in the net while you're at it too. Like,
Yeah.
I can't stand the move, right? And I think so. Last year, yeah, it happened 3 or 4 times. Every single time I just got a stick in the throat, no goal. It was like, but yeah, I think we were in a team meet, and then our coach said, like, Benny, I got nothing. What are you gonna do if they do this? And I'm like, well, probably just gonna stick him in the gut if he tries doing something like that, because I cannot stand it. Like, it's the worst.
No doubt. And if they score, you're on TSN highlight of the night for the next month and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No,
There is one goal. I think it was the Latvian game when the guy went like backhand, like right here on me.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting there in the room after the game. I'm like, well, I'll be on TSN later tonight, boys. Because like, there's no way that like when he turned to his backhand, I was like, oh, he's driving. There's no way he's gonna shoot. And then he does like one of those once in a lifetime goals that I think he had like 2 or 3 goals all tournament long. And he did that. Like, drives me insane that something like that can happen. But nice shot. I'll give it to him. But yeah, I thought he was driving.
I love the competitive edge, dude. I love it, dude. That is
Okay, hey, come on. It's not that hard to be a goalie. All you gotta do is stop a puck, eh? Come on.
there's a lot that goes into it, Tom, as you can tell. I love
I
it,
know.
dude.
I couldn't imagine strapping on the pads. Jesus.
No, me neither. Okay. Well, and speaking of deciding to strap on the pads, let's talk about your career. That's a good segue. Great job, Tom.
That was good, eh?
Yeah, really good, Tom. So let's talk about your career. How did it all start for you, and what made you want to become a goalie?
Yeah, gonna laugh at me, but the reason I wanted to become a goalie is I didn't like skating, so I wasn't a big fan of going up and down the ice. But I guess shortly thereafter realized that going up and down isn't much better. So I ended up sticking with it finally. kind of got into it really, like I got into it really young. Like I was like 4, maybe 5 when I started playing goal. So definitely started young. But yeah, I just didn't want to skate up and down the ice, and the second best option was stand in place and go up and down. So stuck with that and kind of let it run a little bit.
Love it. And what was minor hockey like for you? Because I believe you're not actually from North Bay. You're from Corbeil, right? I don't know how
Yeah.
far that is. So, what was it like? Did you have to commute lots? I'm sure it's probably not too far away, but yeah.
Yeah, so my first couple years I played in like East Ferris Hockey Association, so they had like the East Nipissing Vipers.
Yeah.
So I just played there until Double A started, and then I went to North Bay, which is 15-20 minutes. Like
Yeah.
it's not bad at all. And then yeah, I stayed there. Went back to East Nip 1 year. And then I went back to North Bay once they had Triple A and just stuck with it and played them. But yeah, it was fun. I got to play up my last 3 years, I want to say 3 or 4
Mhm.
years, with the O2 group and then the O2 and O1 group and major midget there. We had a great team, especially in the last year there. And we went undefeated in our season
Yeah.
games and our playoff games. So it
Yeah.
was a lot of fun there. But
Right
yeah,
in Tom's face. He's just dunking all over
yeah,
Hey,
Tom
no,
right
no,
now.
no, 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 no.
all over him.
No,
All
no,
over him.
yeah. Hey, that's Chim. Just to clarify a few things. That's when I was coaching. I got into coaching and I had to coach against Ben and those boys. Your team, Ben, was absolutely loaded that 1 year. I was
Oh
coaching
yeah.
them I was coaching Sudbury Chim, not a big deal, youngest assistant coach in GNML history. Not sure if Ben knows that. But like we got
Also
blown
played
out.
in the Talus Cup. No big deal.
Yeah. We got
No
blown
big
out
deal.
every game. We got blown out every game. But no, that team was loaded.
Right. Yeah.
So you with the Sudbury like Wolves the year before?
I was with the major midgets the year before that. You're on that team that had that undefeated season.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I'm a 2000. So you must have been like 14 or 15 when I
Yeah,
was
I
in
was
my last
playing.
year.
I think I was playing up with the minor midgets that year, right? And then they did like the minor midgets play major
Right.
midgets.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and then I
Right.
remember when I got injured. I got injured first game, I think, against you guys. And
Right.
then yeah, and then I couldn't move. I was getting torched. Like I think it went from like I went from standing on my head from the first period. We get out of it 0-0. Go for the second period, and within like 5 minutes, it was 4-0 you guys. I couldn't move whatsoever. So then I sat out for I think I want to say like 6 to 8 weeks. I come back. I'm playing like the minor midget Sudbury team, and I didn't let it heal enough. And right away, boom, there it goes again. Right at the end of the game, and I sat out another 6 weeks. So that year, I didn't touch ice. Like I didn't. I think I
Holy.
played like 2 or 3 games that year. Yeah, it was bad.
What injury was that?
That was my hamstring. I did a little something there, and all good now, and haven't
Good.
had any problems with it. And now I started
Obviously
stretching,
not. Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No doubt.
Mhm.
What was your favorite rink in North Bay? I despised West Nip. That was like the tightest, coldest barn I've ever played in. And then also Pete Pelangio was a small, tight rink. North Bay, just notorious for like mini rinks. But anyways, I'll let you
Yeah.
take it over.
Yeah, no, you're completely right. We played most of our games when I was younger at the Powassan one.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that rink. That rink wasn't too bad. And then Memorial Gardens, we also played there. I didn't mind Memorial Gardens, but now I hate it playing in the O. I can't stand it. It's the worst rink. Like I cannot stand it. Like it feels like I'm playing a minor hockey game, right? So
Right.
it's like
All right, for sure.
for me, it's like even the Sudbury rink. It's so hard to like really feel like you're playing a like important game in the O because you feel like you're just playing like an exhibition, like minor hockey game, like North Bay
That
Trappers versus the Sudbury Wolves or something, right? So yeah,
Wow. That is I never thought of it that way. That is you bring a whole new light. That wow.
yeah,
Hey, you're not gonna be
That
able to
blows my
sleep
mind.
now, Chim. You're not gonna be
I
able to sleep.
I never thought of it that way. It's usually like your childhood rink. You want to play it. That's unbelievable. That's interesting.
Mhm.
Um, okay, so kind of bringing it back here. Okay, are you tight or keep in touch with Colton Point a lot? I know he was another goalie that came out of North Bay too. Do you have a relationship with him at all?
Not really with Colton, a little bit. More so with Kenny Appleby,
Okay.
another guy out of North Bay. I'm pretty close with him. I think we were calling almost every day when I was down in Dallas. So
Yeah.
we're pretty tight, but no, not with Colton. I never really got to know him too much.
Yeah.
I don't think we really like used the same goalie coaches and never really ended up on the ice together. Like we ended up a few times, but I know him enough to say hi and have a conversation with him and stuff. But yeah.
Okay, cool. Just cool to know that. And what's like off-season skates for you in North Bay? Do you spend a lot of time in North Bay, or are you going down south to train?
Yeah, I think this summer I'll probably spend a lot of time down south. But at the same time, I skate here with like Matty Marquardt. He runs a little bit of a pro skate with Kenny and a few other guys, Darren Archibald, Caleb Cameron, just a few guys kind of around that Powassan area in North Bay. And we have a great time out there, so I do that. Yeah, I mean, depending on how COVID is and everything like that, like I don't want to spend 2 weeks quarantining. So if it doesn't kind of get better, I probably won't go to the States, but that's where my agent's based, right? So
Right.
I can go down there and get on the ice with Manny Legacy. So
Right.
it's nice going down there, but if I'm quarantining, it's not going to work out probably. Just too many big things coming up that I can't really afford to take 2 weeks off and just sit upstairs, right? So
No, exactly.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Tom.
And let's run through. Yeah, I was gonna go to. Can you hear me? I glitched.
Yeah,
out a
you're
bit,
good.
but,
You're good.
You're good. Okay, let's run through a little bit of the draft day, Ben. Like, how was it like getting selected by Sarnia? Obviously, going so high at 7th overall. Run us through what the draft day emotions were like.
Yeah, so we were actually at OHFs that year. Because
Right.
we were
No big deal.
so we were in I want to say it was our semifinal game. So I wasn't playing that day. It was my goalie partner, so I was strictly focused on the draft. Like, did not care about the game. I was really focused on that draft. I was like, you know what? I'm not playing today. Let's focus on the draft. Let's have a me day here. So we were in the room, like in my room. We were watching the draft. I had an idea I was gonna go first round. I didn't think Sarnia at all. So I was sitting there waiting. I thought I was gonna be like a late first rounder. So I was sitting there waiting. We were kind of just talking, and then Sarnia got on the board, and I don't know why I had like a little bit of a feeling. I was like, this could happen. Like I don't know why, but I feel like it can happen.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it happened, and I was with all the boys. We were sitting on my like bed in the hotel, and all the boys were there, and a few guys came running down the hall, and parents and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun. Then I got benched and didn't play another game of line hockey.
No kidding, eh? Oh my god.
Yeah, because you mentioned you didn't play in the semis, and I think you guys lost, right? And then that was it.
We
And
won the
then you
semis, went to the finals, and then
okay.
and then we went to the finals, and then we lost to the Nats, and I didn't touch ice in that game either.
Huh.
So I was
No kidding.
guy
gets drafted 7th overall in the OHL draft. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
my
something's
God.
something's not adding up here.
No,
Clue
my
why you weren't
math's
in the
not
net,
adding
but no.
Oh my God, that's wild. So Sarnia, like, were they on your radar? Like, obviously you didn't know too much. Like, were they calling you? Like, were there any other teams interested? I'm sure they all 30 whatever teams were interested.
Jesus.
But yeah.
Yeah, so Sarnia, I think I had one meeting with them, and that was it. One meeting. So I was like, okay, like it could happen, but I don't feel it, kind of thing. Like where I thought I was going to Oshawa or Windsor was a possibility, I believe, and then London. The London one is a funny story. So the day before that, I got goalie of the OHF tournament, right? So I go up to receive my award, and one of the guys, so the guy that gives me my award, we're taking a picture. He shakes my hand, leans over, whispers in my ear, "If you're still there at 19, we're taking you tomorrow. I'm with the London Knights." I knew I was going first round, right?
Oh my God.
But it was so funny. That's like one of my favorite stories about that whole tournament. It was just like and like going up and like then I got to go sit back down with the boys, and they're like wondering what I'm smiling about, going ear to ear here because I'm like, oh, I could go to London. Like I might be going to London tomorrow, boys.
Oh
But yeah,
my God,
it was
dude.
funny.
That is wild stuff. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's
No
a sick
kidding.
story.
No kidding.
Okay, so let's talk Sarnia now. You land in Sarnia. How was the rookie year for you? Obviously gets cut short with all this COVID stuff, but how was it adjusting from minor hockey to now you're playing in the O and you're a highly drafted goalie, a lot of pressure on you, obviously, but how did it feel, getting into it and making that adjustment?
Yeah, I think for me, I took the pressure and kind of turned it in a good way,
Good.
which kind of helped me just kind of relax and go play my game. But yeah, it was definitely a lot faster. But you work in practice, and I mean, I started off the first 8. I missed the first like 7 games because of injury, right? Um, so I was out for the first 7 games, and then so we were 0-7, and tensions were high in the room. That's the best way of saying it. Like there was a lot of stuff going on, and we were trying to figure out what was wrong on the ice, and then we're going down to Barrie, and I knew I was starting. Like I kind of just had a feeling. I was like, I'm gonna start this game. I know it. Haven't even got to sit on the bench yet, and I'm gonna just go right into the fire here. So sure enough, I started it, and we got our first win, and then we went on like a 10-game heater, and we were like 10-7 or something like that, or 10-8,
Yeah.
and then it went right back to being a bunch of losses. But it was a tough year for the guys, but we just couldn't put it together. But we like great group of guys, like
Mm-hmm.
one of the most fun years of hockey in my life, even though we were losing every. Like I think I had 10 or 11 wins last year, and like 15 to like 18 losses or something like that, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I had quite a few losses, and it was a tough year, but unreal year. Like the boys were awesome, so it was a lot of fun. Had a great goalie coach that really helped me develop, I thought. And still obviously like throughout the summer I've been going down to him. He's in Toronto, right? So
Mm-hmm.
trying to get on the ice with him and just get back to normal and stay kind of in shape.
Yeah, good stuff. And now we sit and wait for a season to happen. Hopefully, obviously, what's that break been like for you? Obviously, you get to play in the U18s now, and now who knows what's going to happen in September. Hopefully, there's a season, and like, were you on kind of on the edge of your seat waiting for an announcement to happen? With the OHL, like we're talking about this 20-game bubble, all that good stuff. So what was it like with that and just dealing with it?
Yeah, I mean for me, I think for me I was kind of like I kind of realized the season wasn't going to happen after like the first 2 times they kind of shut it down and said that we're going to move it back. I just
Yeah.
in my gut I was like, you know what, like it's getting too late.
Yeah.
It's not going to start up. Like don't be hopeful about it starting up. Just go do whatever you like, kind of like what you want, enjoy. So I kind of took the time and just kind of enjoyed my like life, I guess. Was able to kind of get back to being a kid, doing what I kind of like, hanging out with my buddies. Like my one buddy on North Bay there, Joe Verbetic, we've been hanging out like nonstop the last like little while. So it's been good, and we got a really good bond going, and we didn't really know each other until like it would have been like November when we started like skating together and kind of starting to get to know each other. And now he's one of my best friends, right? So stuff like
Yeah.
that where it sucks we didn't get to play our season, but making relationships like that where it like we'll talk forever, we'll work out together forever, skate together. Like it'll be something that we, especially if we're both still pursuing pro hockey and stuff like that, it'll be a relationship that lasts forever, right? So
Right.
that was the one good thing that I kind of was able to take out and just be a kid and go do my things. Like, sure, I worked out, sure, I got ice and stayed fit, but I was able to kind of get my mind off hockey for a bit in a pretty stressful year, in the
No
draft
doubt.
year, right? So, yeah, it was good. It was fun. Got to, like I said, I got to go do ice fishing, go do all this stuff
Yeah.
in Sarnia I can't do, right? So,
Right.
it was a lot of fun, but yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So we're Sudbury boys, so we kind of want to know what was your first game like playing in the old barn? And obviously there's the big North Bay rivalry. You know, North Bay finally got their team in 2013. Now there's huge rivalry. But what was it like, you know, playing in the old barn for the first time?
Yeah, so I played in North Bay the day before, and then we went down to like Sudbury and couldn't stand my game in North Bay. I felt awful. Felt like it was a minor hockey game, like I was kind of talking about earlier there. And then I
Yeah.
went into and then I went into Sudbury and exact same thing. Like I couldn't even see the puck. It was so dark in the rink to begin with. Then the goal horn almost made me like crap my pants. It was so loud. Like just like an awful my northern road trip might have been the worst northern road trip anybody has ever had in their life. Like it was like I think we won our game in North Bay, went to Sudbury, and I think we lost 4-3, and I should have had like 3 of the goals. Like it was just like I had a tough week.
Oh man, no doubt. No, I guess lighting is a big thing. No kidding. But yeah, that's wild. So it's funny you mentioned the goal horn and all that because the lighting. And there's one question we always ask on this podcast that I send over to Mason Savage. It's just one question that he's locked in for during the interview. So I'll send it over to producer Mace.
Yeah, I sit here the whole interview just asked this question. And as a goalie, I could feel for you during this pain. But what's that wolf like for you seeing that go across from the other side?
You know what? I actually didn't even notice it. I'm not gonna lie. When I get scored on, I like look down and I look up at the jumbotron and like that's all I'm focusing on is like watching the goal again and then either giving myself crap for letting it in or blaming it on somebody else and just trying to get it out of my head. So like I wasn't looking at that wolf whatsoever because I kind of knew it was coming. So I was like, hey, it's not look at the wolf and then just look at the jumbotron and try to forget about it. But like I mean, I've watched games there and that's when I've like more so noticed the wolf. And like, oh my god, it makes you just want to like take a swing at it or something, like, throw a stick at it. Like,
Well,
it's the
we'll
worst.
make
But
sure Dario
oh,
lowers it so you see it all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
I should just put it
oh,
right over the net. That's what
Yeah.
we'll have 2 stationed on
oh,
each side.
yeah, wouldn't be able to take it.
Oh man, I love it. Okay. Yeah, Tom.
Yeah, before we move into we have this little rapid fire questions. Before we move into that, you mentioned that you're preparing for obviously the next step, which is the NHL draft that's happening in the next couple months. Like, have teams already started talking to you? Like, are you a little nervous about that? What's going through your mind with that coming up shortly?
Yeah, I've been talking for a while now. I think my first call was like in September. Like they started early. The first few I was like really excited for, and like now it's just to the point where I'm like, okay, now I can't like screw up. I gotta actually be like really good here and like get my interviews out and like can't mumble my words and say the wrong thing. So it's more nerve wracking now, especially getting closer to and hearing rumblings and stuff like that. You kind of start hearing stuff and you're like, oh, okay, like this is pretty cool, but like now it's not ruin it, right? So it's definitely a little bit stressful, but yeah.
Hey, well, you don't have to be worried about where you're going to go in the draft because since you're now going to be on the show releasing, the listeners are going to be listening Tuesday, the BTB bump, Ben, is real. And since we've had Marcus and Nick
Okay,
Foligno on
Knock
the
on wood.
show, and knock on wood, they've been on heaters points wise. So we hope that this will help your draft stock just a little bit for you, bud.
I
Perfect.
think
Thank you.
his game can do the talking for that.
Yeah.
But listen, you got anyone coming at you online, all these analysts, whatever. Don't worry, we'll be all over them on Twitter, especially. Especially, we'll be all over them.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we defend all the Northern boys. That's for sure. Okay, let's go. We're gonna send it over. So this is called our Fast Five here, Ben. And it's 5 rapid fire questions. Whatever comes to the top of your head, let it fly, and I will send it over to Tom. Start it off, buddy.
Okay. Here we go. Favorite sport other than hockey?
Maybe baseball.
Okay. Do you remember your first goalie mask? And if so, what was the paint job?
Yeah, it was a hand-me-down Powassan Hawks helmet. It was awful.
Nice. It was awful. Pre-game ritual you always follow?
I think for me, it's just kind of like doing the same warm up. Like I have like every single like movement has to be kind of done. So I try to follow that and like obviously like throwing balls off the wall and visualizations.
Okay. Okay. Favorite goalie partner you've ever had so far?
This one's gonna get me some trouble.
This is a toughie.
Probably my Sarnia Sting goalie partner. I mean, I think junior hockey, you really get to bond with guys, right? So I think he was probably my favorite one. But yeah, I've been lucky. I've had good goalie partners on every team, so it's been good.
Okay,
stuff.
good answer. Great answer.
Great answer.
Hey, the
This
NHL.
guy,
hey,
this guy's
he's
ready
prepped.
for the. This guy's
Yeah,
ready for the
yeah.
media.
Okay, last one. Favorite North Bay restaurant?
The Moose's Cookhouse, 100%.
Ooh.
All right, that's good to know. We'll check that off when we make a North Bay road trip, whenever
No
that's
kidding.
gonna happen, boys. But we'll make it happen for real. Awesome. Well, that's gonna wrap up the interview. Ben, again, thanks so much. Congrats with everything. Future so bright for you. And thanks for coming on the podcast. And you know, coming to talk to us. It really means the world. So thanks so much, man.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Awesome.